Welcome back. EFF National Chairperson Veronica Mente joins us now for a conversation on the upcoming EFF conference in December and on the Auditor General's report on government overspending. And she joins us now via our video link. Veronica, thank you so much for your time this evening here on SABC News. Now, you are gearing up to hold your third EFF National People's Assembly, taking place, of course, later next month in Nasrec. Perhaps maybe let's start off here. How ready are you to hold this NPA?
Thank you very much, Mbali, for having us, and good evening to the viewers at home. We are 100% ready. We have dealt with the issues of delegates, whom are the most important people for the conference. We just in the past weekend, we had been embarking on the provincial general assemblies. That was to test the ground and see if we can touch and feel our delegates and register them at a provincial level. What is left now is that they will only come on the 12th to collect their accreditation. In terms of logistics, we're 100% done. We have done our site visit. Even your media house was there. We have seen the venues. UJ, where we are going to be conducting registration, is 100% ready. We're only waiting for the 10th to set up.
And as you hold this National People's Assembly, I mean, a number of activities have taken place within your political organization. Some of your former leaders leaving this organization to join another. And at the same time, one would say that as you prepare to hold this National People's Assembly, you hold it at a time where you've also dropped when it comes to your support base in the country following the 2024 elections. What will it take for the EFF to rebuild itself using this National People's Assembly?
No, firstly, let me correct Mbali that we did not drop in the country. We only had a challenge in the KZN where we dropped massively. That we agree, we had problems in KZN, but also the problems of KZN now, looking at the people that you are indicating that they've left the organization, it gives a lot of questions as to what was actually the intention of not working the ground properly, because there were indicators, just like the president have indicated in some of the interviews, that there were some indications that something is terribly wrong in the KZN, to a point where we had to change the deployee and official that was deployed there to another province and bring someone else. But unfortunately, it was right on the eve of the elections, and we could not recoup what we have lost in terms of the ground in the KZN. But in terms of the entire country, we're doing very well. We hung Northern Cape. In Eastern Cape, we grew almost 70%. Mpumalanga, we have grown. In other provinces, we have grown in all of them except for Free State, Free State and the Western Cape, where we maintained the numbers that we had in the previous term of administration. So we are not doing bad at all. We are very good on the ground. We are recouping the lost ground in the KZN. We have also embarked on the regional general assemblies of KZN, trying to find out and figure out what was the problem so that we are able to remedy the situation, and the remedy is underway.
But Veronica Mente, when it comes to your drop, it wasn't a major drop, but it was a significant drop, and of course also resulting to lesser representation even in the National Assembly. But continuing with our conversation, you were crisscrossing the country, as you mentioned just last weekend, and of course we saw the party leader Julius Malema speaking in the likes of Limpopo, and then also making his way to Gauteng at the same time. And one would say when it comes comes to, Malema's quest, throughout the country, Veronica, one would say that we've seen him say things like Zuma is the number one enemy, the MK party is the number one enemy. What does this all mean for your progressive caucus in Parliament when we see, your leader, saying all of this rhetoric over the past couple of days?
Now, for the Progressive Caucus in Parliament, the Progressive Caucus is operating on a charter. We have issue-based charter that if we all agree on a particular issue, then we advocate for that issue collectively and we vote together as a bloc. However, we are independent parties that advocate for different things. So the EFF continues to be a radical party that advocates for the people and doing everything that it has said it will do in terms of our funding manifesto as well as our elections manifesto. So the Progressive Caucus is not a problem at all on issue base. We agree. If we don't agree, we don't agree. We operate in that manner. But in terms of EFF and MK outside, there is no partnership. There is no relationship. We are not a branch of MK. MK is not a branch of the EFF. Therefore, the EFF is an independent party that does and pronounce whatever it feels like pronouncing and advocate for everything else that it has said it will do.
And with all these developments which have, taken place over the past few days, weeks, there's been a number of criticism which has come forward for the EFF. Some were even saying that it seems as if the EFF is lost. Some were even saying it's displaced or no longer relevant. What do you have to say to those critics who say that, well, it seemed as if the EFF is slowly losing its grip on its supporter base?
I think on a daily basis, the EFF is trending everywhere. Whether you go to Parliament, the EFF has a bigger voice and has a portion that it has taken in terms of Parliament. And in terms of arguments of Parliament, every time the EFF is taking a stage, everyone understands that the EFF has taken a stage. Even the media itself, wherever you go, all the platforms, the EFF is top trends everywhere. So I don't understand when the people are saying, no, EFF is losing ground, and EFF has not lost any ground. We are still winning the campuses. We just won an award in Free State, and we are on the ground. We're continuing. The PGAs were actually a demonstration that the EFF is alive. The EFF is still as healthy as it was. We just had a huge march now in Gauteng, marching to the Constitutional Court on the issue of Phala Phala. So that if that is not demonstration enough that the EFF's life is healthier than it was before, then we do not know what people are looking for or what is the definition of a healthy organization, because in our standards, the EFF is stronger than ever.
All right, Veronica, thank you so much for your time. That is Veronica Mente. She is the EFF's National Chairperson there, just giving us an insight in terms of the plans which are underway to hold the party's third National People's Assembly, and that will be taking place in December in Nasrec.